guys, and welcome to another ASMR video. And today I'm eating some Koka beef noodles. I've never tried the beef one, so I'm looking forward to that. And I also have a ZX cola. Do you want me to get you a cola? As always, I've got skillet or the glass of doom. So if I've got the door and I've got the eyebrow, that means I've got the paw. I'm gonna have a good old chug on this, guys. And the subject of this video, someone asked me what my favourite Pink Floyd album was, so I thought I could do this, eat my noodles and tell you all about it, Harry Sidler. Right, what I want to do as well before I do that, so I bought myself a little bowl in with me today so that when I eat it, they're really nice. So dark here today, guys. I'm enjoying the lovely British summer. It's windy, it's raining, it's cold. I've had the heating on last night. In June, it's like the 14th of June. And I had to put my heating on because it was freezing cold. But I'm going to do my top 5 Pink Floyd favourite albums, or favourite Pink Floyd albums. Number 5 is The Final Cut. Now, The Final Cut was the last album with Pink Floyd under the sort of leadership of Roger Waters, and by that time Roger had fired Rick Wright, the keyboard player, and so it was only Nick Mason, David Gilmour and Roger Waters. David Gilmour had a problem with the album because he felt that they was resurrecting older tracks that they'd rejected for the Wall album, and there's a lot of tracks on it. For example, The Hero's Return was originally from the Wall demo called Teacher Teacher. Your Possible Past, which is another one on the album, is also, if you watch the movie of The Wall, when Pink is in the toilet cubicle or stall, he's actually singing Your Possible Past. There was all sorts of tracks they didn't use. So eventually, after a lot of arguing and everything in the studio when they was recording it, David Gilmour finally said, right, well, you do it how you want it and I'll just play on it. And so that's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much a sort of Roger Waters solo album with David Gilmour and Nick Mason like playing on it. But I actually really like the album, and I think, you know, David Gilmour's guitar on it, you know, you can almost feel the pain coming from it, and you know, it's so dark, you can feel it's dark like it is in here now, you know, because of everything that was going on in, you know, between the band members. It's still a really good album. If you know, you can just put it on a sort of stormy night with headphones, and it is a really good album. It's very dark, but it's good. But yeah, I think the rest of the band sort of wanted to move on from the war, but Roger still thought he had something to say, because we did have the war in the Falklands in 1982, and I think that's pretty much what it's about. But yeah, I still think it's a really good album, and I think, you know, David Gilmour's playing on it is superb, and I just love the sound of the guitar on it. So that would be number 5. Number 4 is Wish You Were Here. Now, what had happened was the band had sort of finally made The Dark Side of the Moon, which went mad, you know. It became absolutely mega. You know, it's still now one of the biggest selling albums of all time. So you had all the success of that because, you know, they'd really done a pucker job on that album. That was it. They'd finally all got together, you know, and made something incredibly special with Dark Side of the Moon. But then they had to follow it up. When you think about it, when you've made Dark Side of the Moon, how are you going to follow that up? You know, you couldn't just recreate another Dark Side of the Moon. You had to do something a little different. And they went through different stages. The first project they was doing was called Household Objects, and it was just going to be purely of household objects like rubber bands, pots and pans, you know, and a few glasses, wine glasses, which they actually kept on Shine On You Crazy Diamond. At the beginning you can actually hear the wine glasses that they started using for household objects, but you know, it was just becoming too difficult a project to continue, so they stopped, and then they started writing Wish You Were Here, the album. And what I love about it is that it's nothing like Dark Side of the Moon. It was a completely different album, but still really good. So if you've not heard Wish You Were Here, brilliant album. And it's got like a track on it called Welcome to the Machine, which blew my mind when I heard it. Because I don't know what you go through. It's like you go through a photocopier or something, and the stereo on it is everything sort of bouncing from left to right. It's so good. Of course, the actual song as well, Wish You Were Here. Another brilliant song. The whole album, it's really good, and it's it's much more sort of laid back. You know, one you can just chill to. It's so good. So that's number 4. Number 3, this masterpiece, Animals. This is the original cover. There is actually now a remix of Animals, which is absolutely superb. I love it. The remix is so good. But you know what it was when I first was introduced to Pink Floyd, and I wasn't a big fan, to be honest, but I had this cassette tape back in the day. You know, you used to be able to buy cassette tapes second hand, sold as blanks, and all you did was record over them. But one of the ones I had just had Pink Floyd on it. I didn't know what it was. So one night I came home and decided to put it on, and the album turned out to be Animals. Now this I loved, and I thought, oh, this album is so good. And it was that one really that sort of got me into Pink Floyd, I think. You know, it's one I've always really loved. I loved it the first time I heard it. And it's got a much more raw feel about it, because they just created their new studio. It's the one that became the one I think Dave Gilmour uses now. It's on like a barge or something. It's a recording studio, and they sort of recorded it there. So you know, it isn't quite as polished as, say, Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here. It's got a more raw feel, but it really sort of suits what the actual album is about. And you know, there's only like 5 tracks on it. 3 tracks bookended with Pigs on the Wing, but you've got dogs, and then you've got pigs, and then sheep. Oh guys, the album is brilliant. If you've never heard that, definitely give it a listen. Right. Number 2 it's very difficult, because they're very, believe me when I say they're very close. But number 2 is The Wall. The Wall. I remember I was a kid and Another Brick in the Wall went to number 1, and I absolutely loved the song. But again, I'd never really listened to the actual album. So again, you know, my brother-in-law at the time had played me Dark Side of the Moon, and I listened to Animals. Then I listened to The Wall, and I remember just putting it on and just hearing Another Brick in the Wall Part 1, because I thought Part 2 was the actual one that went to number 1. There is a Part 1. And I thought, oh my god, and this album is brilliant. it's about a pop star or rock star called Pink who has a breakdown, and it's all about his sort of isolation from the world. But like, absolutely brilliant album. Very, very. The things that are in it. There's one bit where he sort of switches on all these TVs, and it's like it's clicking on left, right, middle, left, right, middle, left, right, and then in the end he sort of screams and kicks all the TVs in. There's an helicopter with the teacher, the schoolmaster saying, stand still, laddie, and all this. It was just all the effects that are on it. It was the sort of madness of it all. I just love The Wall, and it is a very, very close second. Let me have another little drink. And number one is of course Dark Side of the Moon. What happened is when I was working, and we had a shop like in Pulp Fiction, where it's like a buy sell exchange shop. We had that at first, and we used to sell stereos and stuff out of it. And this one particular, a boom box they call them now, used to be able to play records upright. It was a very, very good one. So, my brother-in-law brought in Dark Side of the Moon. And I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I thought, oh, what is this? And I thought, oh no, I can't stand this. Anyway, after I listened to Animals, I decided to give it another go, another try. So, this time, I took the record home and played it with my headphones on. And then I got it, and I thought, oh my God, you need, it's a bit like watching a film, when you're working and having like one of the best films ever made on a TV, and just you're watching bits of it and hearing bits of it, you have to sit and watch it. And it was the same with this album. It needed to be listened to properly with headphones by myself, and I did. And it was, and is, an absolute masterpiece. Just everything it's about resonates now. You can sort of put this album on today, even though it was made 50 years ago, and still relate to everything in it, what it's about. So, also, it sounds amazing too. Brilliant. It was engineered by Alan Parsons from what became the Alan Parsons Project. But yeah, Dark Side of the Moon is about life, and you will relate to everything in it. Absolutely superb album. say it was really nice. It's so good to see you all, guys. And it's Friday as well, oh, that's so nice. Yeah, so time to enjoy the weekend. I will be back very soon. I don't know when